Welcome back to the 1% Better podcast, where we explore the small but powerful changes shaping the future of education. I'm Disha, and today we are diving into a theme that every school leader is feeling right now: the big shift. What's really changed in schools over the last few years, and more importantly, what still needs to? Joining me is someone who's not just watching the change, she is leading it. Dr. Kavisha Khurana, director of the Chintels School, is reimagining modern schooling by blending tradition with innovation and purpose. She brings a unique perspective, having led three campuses, an ICSE, CBSE, and a Cambridge school, through this transformation. Kavisha, it's such a joy to have you here.
Namaskar, everybody. Thank you so much, Disha, for such a warm welcome. I'm humbled to listen to all the nice words you said. I've been listening to 1% Better podcast, and it's such a beautiful name because I'm a big advocate of 1% making yourself better every day. It's such a beautiful name you've chosen. And I love the way you've been bringing out real and honest stories behind the school transformation. And I'm learning so much from the fellow educators, edupreneurs, that, as I said, 1% learning every day. And I'm so excited to share ours.
Likewise, we are excited to hear yours too, Kavisha. So let's get right into it. In your experience, what are the real shifts that have happened in schools post pandemic or post 2020 beyond just hybrid learning and tech?
Okay. At Chintels, and I would even share two stories here.
Great.
One is how I changed myself and a perspective post COVID. And what I learned, I still remember there was a girl who never switched on her camera no matter how many times you tell her to.
Okay.
And then when I spoke to her, the counselor spoke to her, her reason was surprising.
Hmm.
She told that she has pimples on her face while everybody looked so filter perfect
Hmm.
that she doesn't want to switch on her camera. So honest. And then I realized while so much is happening around them, they still have so many complexes. So the need of the teacher beyond being a felicitator increased so many times. So
Right.
that was one change. I thought that teacher now needs to be beyond just a felicitator. They have to be so many things. And just one talk changed that girl's life, and she started switching on a camera the next day when we told her the potential, that it's not only the way you look. So these young generation living in the life of filters, as I call it, they need to come out of their zone and realize their own worth, which is beyond this, I feel. Secondly, what I learned from a very interesting episode from a teacher only. As I told you, another child, there were so many people who lost their jobs. So, a child from a very humble background had just one phone, which was being shared between the two brothers. The younger one of grade 3 could never attend the class. Why? Because his elder brother, who was in grade 9, has to have the phone that time. So, when it was told and everything was done. So the teacher did not give up on him and gave him absent and moved on. She kept on calling the parent, but the parents hardly replied. But she made sure that I need to connect to that child because he's such a lovely child. Then the mother told all the episode, and you know what did the teacher do? She said, okay, if you're not able to attend, she made private lessons for her, all the videos, all the subjects. One teacher changed and everybody changed. She was maths teacher, then the English teacher followed the same, and same was with science. So this is how I learned resilience. I learned that how can we help each other. And from content delivery, we moved to contextual learning. Children became more curious, independent thinkers. And of course, mistakes I feel are never to be punished. They're always to be learned because mistakes make us. You must have made a mistake. I have made mistakes in our life, and that is how we grow. If we keep punishing those mistakes, then how will we get or reprimanded? How will we improve? Sometimes it is okay to make mistakes, but learning from them is more important so that we never make it again.
Thank you, Kavisha, for sharing the two anecdotes. I believe for teachers, it's just not the teaching, but they have to be a coach, they have to be a counselor, moreover, they have to be a friend with
Everything.
students.
Yes, everything.
Also, I think I love that. That was such an important shift that you mentioned, that from fearing mistakes to learning through them.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, Kavisha, many school leaders listening might feel a little overwhelmed by the pace of change. So, what's one thing you have done at Chintels that others could adapt no matter their context?
We created a culture where everyone, from teachers to parents to even our support staff, is seen as a co learner. There's so much to learn from everything around us. That mindset opens door. Here we do not have any hierarchy, ki ye driver hai or she's a helper. Everybody has to be treated with respect. Is what I feel is number one paramount. Simple shifts like weekly students' reflection journals, student led conferences, teacher think circles also make a big transformation. So let's treat everybody equal because there's so much to learn from everybody.
I think that's the way we really have to be co learners in their journeys
Absolutely.
with students as well as with teachers. And, like, it talks lots about your leadership style, walking alongside your team and not ahead of them. That really plays a big role, Kavisha.
Yes, as I always say, leadership isn't a podium, it's always a partnership.
So, Kavisha, so much has evolved, like, the AI, the tech, but what still needs to shift in schools across India?
There are changes which every progressive school is making, no doubt about it, and they're all trying to make themselves better, like what they were yesterday, at least most of the schools. But one thing I would like to definitely change is probably the assessment system. We need to move away from the only the mark based identity. There's more than just the marks, and the parents also need to understand it somehow. Secondly, is teacher empowerment is very, very important. Sometimes we as leader, even I get scared sometimes. What if the teacher leaves the school? What if we train the teacher, invest so much on her and she leaves it? But we need to realize, even if we are not investing on our teacher as a leader, I'm telling you, then the teachers is of no use right now, even in your own school. So let's stop worrying. And if she's, and I feel if she's not helping us, if she leaves, she must be helping somewhere else. So let's invest in our teachers so that they become the leaders who can raise the leaders of tomorrow. That's very, very
Thank you
important.
for sharing this, Kavisha. I think this is a great point about teacher empowerment. And like you said, we should invest in teachers. Could you just suggest one or two ways, like investing in what terms?
Investing, send them to as many as workshops you can.
Okay.
Let them explore. If they want to buy any tool, maybe online,
Hmm.
it's okay if they're doing justice to it. Tell them to invest. Like there are so many workshops happening, whether it's of AI,
Hmm.
let your teacher get into the habit of it. AI is one thing I feel we cannot take it back away. Our generation is, the younger generations are of course more adaptable to it, no doubt about it. So they, to be abreast with their students, they need this. And secondly, let them move out of the city, explore.
Here, Kavisha, like you mentioned that, we should be sending our teachers, we should be giving them exposure to, attend various workshops. Like you lead three campuses, so probably, there would be a big number of teachers in your school.
More than that.
So is it feasible to send all the teachers, or how do you look at it? Is it like the teacher training, the school leaders have to embrace the teacher training and have the teacher trainings to come in into your schools
Yes,
and
Disha.
conduct
Yeah,
it?
Disha, it's not, we cannot send everybody, of course, but suppose one coordinator goes and then they need to come back to the school, explain it to the teacher, create a proper PPTs or presentation so that they can share the learning. With so many people I know, they are ready to come to the school and train the teachers, which is a beautiful thing. And
Right.
now, even online, we can train teachers so well. They just have, sometimes they are very willing, sometimes you have to force them because already they are, there's a lot of work happening, but then it's okay, it's a part of the job. I always tell, you signed to change the future, so better do it.
I second this, that
Just
the
change
online
the future.
trainings are really the best
Yeah.
because from any part of the world, they just have to log in and just open their laptops and attend the training. Time for a quick fire round. First thing that comes to your mind. So, ready, Kavisha?
Yes.
Let's go. One word that defines your leadership style.
Empowering.
One tradition in schools we must keep alive.
Morning gratitude prayer.
One thing we should leave behind.
Judging or labeling a child.
One change that made the biggest impact at Chintels.
Uh, Not one change, it's a ripple of many changes.
We
And
can
as I
maybe
said,
list two.
I
Yeah,
have
two.
your line 1% better every day. So it's a ripple of change, I would say.
That's great. If you weren't a school leader, you would be.
That's a tricky one. My life revolves around education, but probably my parents, my father is
Let's
into
try
business.
answering. Yeah,
So probably I would have carried on business or maybe a theater artist because I'm a trained classical dancer and I've
that's
worked in theaters also. So maybe a theater artist.
lovely to know that. Kavisha, this has been such a refreshing conversation. You have shown us that big shifts aren't always about big budgets, but bold beliefs.
Absolutely, it's about bold beliefs. And thank you, school leaders. Take the first step. However small it is, it all adds up.
And to our listeners, what's your school's big shift? Drop us a message, share your journey, or better yet, nominate a school leader who's leading change. If this conversation sparked an idea, share it forward. And as always, keep getting 1% better every day.